Hello everyone, I'm Kalen North, and today we're going to be talking about basic strategies for the spirit Shadows Flicker Like Flame. Shadows is a fear-oriented spirit with a decent smattering of control powers. They have difficulty placing presence every turn, and they have a poor energy track. So we're going to try and focus on the plays track and using our energy growth, the growth option that gives us 3 energy. And we're going to try and solve problems early, let some problems go, and focus on accepting blight and using Dahan counterattacks. We start in the jungles and the mountain, on this board anyway, and the invaders start in the jungle. So, we're going to go ahead and grow with our 3rd growth option. Our first turn, we're going to usually play Favors Called Due to gather Dahan and cause fear, and then one of Mantle of Dread or Crops Wither and Fade. Which one of those we play is going to depend a lot on where the invaders go. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and play Crops Wither and Fade because I want to be able to shrink the town in land 7. So, I'm going to add a presence. I'm going to add it to land 7. I'm going to play Crops Wither and Fade and Favors Called Due. And then I'm going to finish playing cards. Now, these 2 cards trigger our innate at level 1. We can use that to stop one of the explorers. I'm going to go ahead and gather the explorer from land 6 into land 7 and let the invaders build in the jungle. Next up, invaders explore in the mountains. We're going to use Favors Called Due to set up a massive Dahan counterattack in land 2, using our Concealing Shadows power to protect the Dahan from the ravaging invaders. So, we always want to get that 3 fear if we can, just because it's such a huge boost to get 3 fear. It's almost an entire fear card on solo. And then Crops Wither and Fade we'll use here. And now, turn 2, we want to grow again with our 3rd growth option. This is going to give us the energy to pay for our cards this turn and next turn when we have to reclaim. Because our energy growth track starts at 0, we really do need that energy. I am going to go from our 3rd card play rather than going for the first energy. This is to enable us to play 3 cards and have a very destructive turn next turn. And I am going to grow into land 2. The reason for this is to target Concealing Shadows. We do have a special rule that would allow us to play Concealing Shadows in land 2 for 1 energy, but sacrificing a presence is actually going to be more beneficial for us because energy is so tight with Shadows. It's very hard to afford to pay for all of our cards, and so we really want to save energy wherever we can. So we'll play Concealing Shadows and Mantle of Dread. I'm going to Darkness Swallows the Unwary to gather the Explorer from land 5 into land 7. We're going to keep grouping up Explorers there and get that one out of the land with Blight. And then we're going to Concealing Shadows in land 2. Defend 1 per Dahan in each land. It's not quite enough to actually do anything useful for us. We still take a Blight, and we still wipe out all the invaders, which is good. Invaders build in the mountains and explore in the sands, and because we've taken out so many buildings already, we're fortunate that land 4 is going to be clear. They're not going to explore there. Mantle of Dread, we can push an explorer out of the sands, but it really isn't going to do us much good here. The main thing would be to perhaps push an explorer into land 5 so that if we get lucky with an event, we can pull a Dahan in there and kill it on the counterattack. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next, turn 3, we're going to reclaim cards, gain a minor power, and see what we get. Drafting for Shadows is often focused on elements. We like Moon plus Fire powers if possible, Moon powers if that's first one's not possible, and things that cost 0 if neither is possible. Sometimes we're going to just blank on it. This time we see Gift of Power matches those criteria pretty well. It's got Moon, it costs 0. Call to Migrate isn't really good for us. It costs 1. It doesn't have great elements for us. Delusions of Danger does have Moon, but it does also cost 1, and so I'm less inclined to take it over Gift of Power. Devouring Ants has none of our elements, costs 1, and isn't really going to be very useful for us. So I'm going to take Gift of Power and go on with the turn. Now, this turn, we really want to try and deal with land 7 as best we can. We're going to do that by using our innate power. We're going to play Mantle of Dread, Crops Wither and Fade, and then one of Favors Called Due, Concealing Shadows, or if we got a power that has Moon, the power that we gathered that has Moon, or gained that has Moon. So I'm going to play that, and that'll give us our innate at level 2. That lets me grab in an Explorer from land 8 and destroy 2 Explorers for 2 Fear, which is enough to get us our second Fear card, as well as get to Terror level 2. This is important because a lot of Fear cards can just remove a town, and there's a chance that we just win here on the Fear card. Actually, that'll work. So we gather up to 2 Dahan, then 1 damage if Dahan are present. I originally talked about putting Dahan into land 5, but I'm actually going to gather 2 Dahan into land 8 so that they destroy the town on the counterattack and win us the game. And then we can gather an Explorer into a land with buildings or gather a town into a land with city. We don't really want to do that. We want to keep this land just where it is. Vader's Ravage in the mountains. We lose a Dahan and take a Blight, but that wins us the game. So Shadows can pull off these absurdly quick victories sometimes, where you just downgrade enough stuff and deny enough Explorers, and you're able to take out a big built-up land with a counterattack using Concealing Shadows. And that allows them to just clear their board very quickly while rushing Terror level 2. Shadows doesn't always do that. Sometimes you need to take a couple more turns, try and gain some more powers. You might need to take that energy spike, that gain 3 energy, and place a presence at range 3 a couple more times in order to afford to pay for your cards. I do like to switch to the energy track after I've gotten to 3 card plays, unless I have some kind of multiplayer support that's giving me energy. That's just largely because getting to 4 card plays, while it's really powerful if we're able to draft a Moon and Fire and power, which would then let us turn our innate up to level 3. Getting to 4 card plays is going to be really hard to do, and we're going to be not gaining any energy from our energy track while we rush it. So, in the absence of something like Boon of Vigor from River Surges and Sunlight, or Tidal Boon from Ocean, or any power that gives energy, we're probably going to want to switch to the energy track after we get up to 3 card plays. Well, that's Shadows. Thanks for watching. If you have comments, things you want to add, questions, things you disagreed with, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much again for watching.